Hey and hello everyone, this is Brandon Veller back with Freedom Enneagram Coaching. And there's a little bit of a different format for today's video. As you can see, I've got some slides here that we're going to look at. And I'm excited about today because we are going to be talking about the three triads or centers. Now, if you were just listening to the audio version of this over at Freedom Enneagram Podcast, fortunately you're not getting the full picture. But I will try to, in the show notes, try to give you access to these slides so you can see it. Or I may go ahead and, if I don't like how this sounds afterwards, I may just record a completely new episode for you podcast listeners, just so that you get the gist. All right, so here we go. Let's jump into it. This is the picture of the Enneagram that you're probably most of all familiar with. If you've ever seen it, unless you're just brand new and just stumbled into this, this is probably what you've seen before. We have this 9-sided drawing. Enneagram just means a 9-sided drawing. Ennea means 9, gram means drawing. Okay, so like a pentagram is a 5-sided drawing. Enneagram is a 9-sided drawing. So we have 9 points arranged around this circle. And you've got these connecting lines. So you can see that, like, for example, type 1, each number would be a type. Type 1 is connected to type 7. It's also connected to type 4. Type 2 is connected to type 4 as well, but it's connected to type 8, and so on around. Each type would be connected to 2 other types, okay? These are split up into 3 triads, or 3 centers. Okay, depending on which resource tradition that you are pulling from or studying, it may call up different things. Okay, so we have up here types 8, 9, and 1, which are part of the Instinctive center, which I've also seen called the body triad or the gut triad. Then we have types 2, 3, and 4, called here the feeling center, which are also called the heart triad or the emotional triad. Then finally, types 5, 6, and 7 over here in the thinking center, which have also been called the head triad. And I clicked that, but I'm glad I did, because the other type of in that thinking center is called the intellectual triad. Okay, so you can just see the same thing we saw there before, just typed out. All right, got 9 types divided into 3 triads or centers. Just a little bit of overview about the 3 triads. Now, first off, I just want to say a lot of this is you deal with stereotypes in going through this, because a lot of times this is what usually is seen, or what this type is usually like. Does that mean that you will 100% have all of these characteristics or fall into all of these? Absolutely not. Okay, but things that are common within the 3 types of each triad. Okay, so for the gut triad or the body instinctive centers here, okay, these 3 types 8, 9, and 1, tend to experience life through their instincts. They listen to their gut, they feel it. Okay, they engage the world, trying to maintain a sense of control. The types in this triad normally don't know what to do with emotions real well. They sense it. They have those instincts, but they don't feel it. Okay, they are very good. They project their energy onto others in different ways, but they do have a high energy about them. And their first reaction is to do something. Anger tends to always be beneath the surface in some way. And this type is very much a ready, fire, maybe aim, maybe not, but definitely ready, fire. The types 2, 3, and 4 are part of the heart triad, which are also called the feeling or the emotional center. These are more social types. Relationships are very big to these. This type is going to lean into their emotional intelligence. They're not going to go with their gut. They're not going to go with their head as much, but they are definitely going to feel it. Connections with others are very important, but this can also lead to issues because of comparisons with others. Now, for a set of types that are called emotions or heart, and being so connected to emotions, they tend to be very out of touch with their own feelings. As a type 2, I will deal with what you're going through and I will feel what you're feeling, but I don't do my own feelings very well. I'm learning how to feel what I feel and process those the correct way. Their first reaction isn't going to be to think or to act. It's going to be to feel and process it that way. And this type tends to deal with shame beneath the surface. And we'll go into that in greater detail as we talk about each of the 9 types. Finally, the last triad, we have types 5, 6, and 7. This is the head triad, or the thinking instinctual center. This group is going to think. They're not going to feel. They may act, but they will feel less than they will act. But they are going to think through things. This group is forecasting. They are contingency planning. These are the worst case scenario folks. Well, what if this went wrong? Or what if this went wrong? Or what if I don't know enough? Or what can I do to make sure that I get the most enjoyment out of this? They are going to use their brain. They're going to think and plan as their first reaction. And fear tends to always be beneath the surface for them. All right, so I threw this up here because this is something I'm just now starting to study, and I was very excited, and I wanted to just share with you a little bit. Now, you notice the difference in this drawing from the one I showed you before. In the other one, you had, there was this gap here. And for example, type 1 was connected to type 4, but it wasn't connected to type 7. This is another way of thinking about the Enneagram that deals with something called harmony triads. The thinking here is that everyone has a main type. So if I as a type 2, my main type is type 2. I am living mostly from that heart triad, but I'm still connected to my body and to my mind, which would mean each one of these types should be connected to another type in another triad. So I am, in the traditional model, I am a type 2, so in health, I would go to a type 4, which is also in the heart triad, and I would go to a type 8 in stress, which is in the body. But that leaves no connection here to the head center, to the thinking triad. But in this harmony triad model, you have this type 2 that is also connected to the head triad as a type 5 and the body triad as a type 8. And now, again, this is brand new. I am a chapter into the book that I'm reading about this, Spiritual Rhythms for the Enneagram by Adele and Doug Calhoun and Clarence Scott Logridge. Sorry if I messed up your names, although I doubt you're going to listen to this. It is phenomenal. I mean, I'm taking so many notes that I just stopped writing and highlighting and started typing because I'm filling the pages up. I can't say a whole lot about that because this is brand new, but I was very excited and I wanted to just kind of present that or talk to you about that. Hope one of these days as I learn more and I finish this, I may do a whole video or set of videos talking about this, okay? But just like the idea that you have, whichever your type is, if you're a type 7, well, you as a head center, you still have a connection here to the body. And you still have a connection here to the heart, that each individual has the ability to access these 3 areas, but we have one that is our main area, but the others are still available. And I really, really like that. Let me get out of this. Okay, and I got to tell you, it may seem silly that I write this stuff out, but I lose track of what I'm saying. I let the fact that I'm talking on video make me nervous. And like last episode, I forgot what I was saying and just said, all right, well, bye. And it was 6 minutes. I didn't want to redo it. So just part of the growing pains of starting something new. I just want to thank everybody for watching and listening. I appreciate your time, your attention, and your comments. I want to ask you to make sure to subscribe here. Go follow me on Facebook. Go follow me on Instagram. You're going to find some more writings and shorter posts and memes on those. You can send me your questions, or if you're interested in doing some one-on-one small group coaching, please DM me on Facebook, Instagram, email me at freedomenneagramcoaching@gmail. I really appreciate your time. My name is Brandon Veller. My goal is to help you discover who you are, uncover who you were meant to be, and to live free.